All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD 1000 Web Development Technologies class, I've been starting to go over um, the Learn Web Development series that's part of Mozilla.org. And I went over like a brief overview in the last segment, and I also talked a little bit about installing the basic software. So it's time as we work our way down here to go through part 2. What will your website look like? It says before you start writing the code, you should plan it first. Typically, what you want to do is kind of wireframe what you want it to look like. All right, and I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here and show you a tool that we've been using for a couple years here, and it is called Balsamic Wireframing. Now, it won't look like that much. All right, it says I got an update available. I'm not going to worry about it. But what you can do on here is basically draw what you want your site to look like. All right, so this up here will be the site. So let's imagine, because this is kind of what we're going to build, we'll build a site with about 4 pages on it. We'll have a home page. We'll have an about page. We'll have a contact page. And I'm not sure what we'll have for the other one. Maybe something like a simple photo gallery or something like that. All right, so let's imagine those are going to be our 4 pages. So I'm going to come in here, and I don't expect any of this right here to make sense to you, so please don't worry about it at all. But I'm going to go up here to quick add, and I'm going to write down here, let's see, I don't know if they have nav bar in here or not. Link bar, I don't know if that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that'll work. So this will be in here, and this will be my home page, and that'll be this page right here. So just to show you this, I'm going to right mouse click on here, and I'm going to choose rename. And this will be my home page. So I'm going to call this, how about home? All right, my second page in here will be my about page. So I don't want products. I want my second page that's in here to be named about. I want my third page that's in here. Oh, let's just say we'll call this gallery. I don't know. That may change. And our last page we're going to call contact. Okay? You'll see then how all of these pages have changed, or all these names, I should say. So that's what we have in here right now. Okay? So let's just say, well, what do we want to put in here? I don't have any idea. Do we have anything in here for a logo? See, they got a bunch of logos in here. I wanted to make my own logo, so I'm just not going to use any of them. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to say, let's see. Yeah, we'll put in here title. There it says a big title. For now, I'm just going to write homepage. Okay. Underneath that, I'm going to put a bunch of text. Just for now. Again, this can change anytime we want it to change. So where it says text, I'm going to put that right there. I'll drag it out quite a ways and drag it down quite a ways. All right, so it's got a paragraph, a second row with a well. I don't even like the way that looks. There's another one that you can put in here that's got a whole bunch of text in it already. So let's look again. Text, block of text. I think that's it. There we go. So I'm going to throw that in there and make that go down. And don't worry about this at all. I just want something up there. Okay. Now I'm going to take this page, and the other thing I want to do to it, let's see. On here, I'm going to eventually want to link to different pages. I don't know if it'll allow me to do that right now. Link to a web address, to a new wireframe. Yeah, the duplicate of this wireframe. I'll just do it this way. So I'm going to right mouse click on here, and I'm going to choose duplicate. And this will now, when I rename it, this will become my about page. So I'm going to change this to about page. And I'm going to copy it again. And this one will become gallery page. Now we're going to make massive changes to this, so don't let the fact that they all look alike right now mean anything to you. Duplicate it one more time, and this will become my contact page. All right, just so we've got a little bit of variety in here, let's get rid of this. All right, and I think there's a thing in here for images. Good. So I'm going to put an image right there, and I'm going to make this bigger and bigger here. Okay, just so you can see that. In fact, that really should probably, instead of, let's see, we've got home, we've got about, that's the gallery. It probably should have gone into the gallery, so let's do this. Let's remove that from there, and let's put it in here. So there's our gallery. That'll just be some kind of picture. I don't know what. All right, and let's rename this. So this will be gallery. And this last one here that now doesn't have much of anything in it. Do we have a form in here? WP forms. Well, let's build our own. We'll just build it very quickly. We'll throw something in here. Text input. I don't even like that. I want to remove it, but don't remember how to remove this. So let's see. Well, I want to get rid of that. I'm not helping myself much here, am I? Okay, it looks like it's gone. So let's see. Put in a label. There'll be some text as it says. I don't know if we have a text box here. Text input. I guess that's the same thing that was here, so that'll probably be all right. Okay, it doesn't look like much right now. I understand that. In fact, I don't even know what that is. So that probably was my label. Get rid of that too. Okay, so that's my label. That's my text input. Again, I realize it doesn't look like much right here. Copy. I'm just going to throw about 4 of these in here. And again, why am I doing this? Just so that I can, each page does look, does look a little bit different. So there's my contact page. There's my gallery page. Here's my about page. And what do we put something else in here? So we're going to make this smaller. And we'll add another image in here, just so you can delineate or tell the difference between all these pages. All right, so I'll put that there. And we'll put that here, there. Now each page does look different from one another. Home, about, gallery, and this should be renamed to, oops, I don't want to duplicate it. I want to rename that as contact. All right, just to very quickly show you, I'm going to come here and now I'm going to click up on here. And I'm going to say my home should go to the home page, my about to the about page, the gallery to the gallery page, and the contact to the contact page. All right, you can see they're all linked now. I probably should have done this before I made the copies, but it's fine. All right, so this should go to the home page, to the about page, to the gallery, to the contact. I'm going to do this 2 more times just so it's in there for all of them. So why am I even doing this? All right, Basically, what I want to do is I want to have a wireframe or some kind of an idea of what the website will look like. Now, again, I'm doing this literally off the top of my head, so the chances of the website looking exactly like this are basically zero. All right. But now I'm going to jump back to the home page, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say View Full Screen Presentation. All right. And I'm going to click Close Settings. There's my website right now. And it may not look like much, but notice I can go to the About page. I can go to my gallery. I can go to my contact page. And I can go from any page to any other page. So what I've done with this wireframe is just given myself an idea of what the site is going to look like. All right. And I'm going to build a site for you during this series on what? I don't know. Whatever comes to mind for me. All right. So that's it. Now, I'm just going to keep that there. And I'm already 11 minutes in. So what will your website look like? All right. It says to begin with, you'll need to answer your questions. What is this website about? Do you like dogs, New York, Pac-Man, etc.? So I think what I might do, I'm a transplant into the state of Missouri. I'm originally from Wisconsin. I've lived in Wisconsin and Illinois and then moved here about 5 years ago to take the job at Rankin. So maybe I'll make a website about Missouri. All right. So what information are you presenting on the subject? It says write a title and a few paragraphs. We'll get into all that. What does a website look like? That's what I was showing you. In very simple, high-level terms. All right. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. So it says next, grab a pen and paper and start sketching out what you want the site to look like. Well, I didn't do that. I used our wireframing tool. It's called Balsamic Mockup wireframe. And typically what has happened in the past, and I'll have to send out an email to my contact from Balsamic, but they allow students to use it, and it's usually good for about a year, then it has to be renewed. All right, and it's free. Okay, so hopefully by the time we start class, it'll be available to all of you, and I'll go over what to do, how to do it on the first day of class. All right. At this point, it's good to start putting together the content that will appear on your page. Text, theme color. Now, one thing to notice, it says go to the color picker. All right, and when you go right here, it's going to bring you to the color picker that they have right here on Mozilla. And the idea is you can come in here and pick any color that you want for your website. All right. Okay, and we will do that. Now, one thing about this is when you start going through colors, you know, I start to think, and I realize the pride that people in this state have in their hometown baseball team, all right, which is the Cardinals, and also the Kansas City Chiefs. And both of those teams, for their colors, are basically red. Now, it's not, I don't think it's the exact same red color, and I may use a light red for the color for this site. The problem is typically red is the hardest color on the central nervous system, and it's not always recommended. Now, I was out of curiosity here. Let's see, if we go to St. Louis, I would imagine there's a St. Louis Cardinals. I've never tried this.com. I'm just curious as to what the background color is here. Well, maybe there isn't one. Let's go to here to St. Louis Cardinals. All right, and there's the Cardinal red, and it's got some stuff in here. So let's see. Official St. Louis Cardinals website on MLB. So I could use that color. I'm not, believe me, I'm not going to come in here and try to copy this website. But I was just curious as to the color that they had in here. And if I do the same thing for the Kansas City Chiefs, All right. And if I go to Chiefs.com, there's red as well. All right. And again, I believe that if we look at both of these, it's not the exact same red, but it's very similar. So we'll see as we get going in here what we'll use from that, or if we use that. All right. So we haven't exactly chosen our theme color yet, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about text. We'll talk about images. Now, one thing about images, and I'm just going to start saying this from the get-go. My clock is going off, so let me pause for a moment. All right. So we're almost done with this particular lecture. One thing I want to mention, though, and you'll hear me say this pretty much continuously, notice if we click on here, everything is hyperlinked. All right. It says to choose an image, go to Google Images. Yeah, you can do that. We're going to look at a lot of different places for images. Okay. All right. And you should never go out to someone's site and take their images without their permission. All right. So if you do decide, wow, this is a really neat picture somebody has on their website, don't just copy it. Do not ever do that and put it on your website. If you really think you want to have it, then try to at least at a minimum email the person, company, whatever, and ask for permission. There's also a lot of other sites that we'll look at, such as there's a place called unsplash.com. These are free, royalty-free, freely usable images. So for instance, let's just say I did want something on baseball. All right, there's a bunch of stuff that we could use. All right, there's another one that's called pexels.com. Same kind of thing. So again, if I type in baseball, all right, some of these will probably be the same as what you saw before. Some will be different. All right. Font, we will eventually go into Google Fonts, but at the start, we'll just use a built-in font that comes with the system. It says go to Google Fonts. Last time I went out here, there were about something like 900 fonts. Now though, there's over 1,000. All right, so for instance, if I wanted my font to have this Girasol, whatever it is, I could use that, Open Sans, etc. We'll pick one out later. All right, I'm not worried about it right now. And where am I? Oh boy. I think we're here. There we go. All right. So we've gone through the installing basic software, and we've gone through what your website will look like. And again, I'm doing this super high level on purpose. All right, so the next one that we're going to go into in here is going to be dealing with files. And it's going to say in here, where should your website live on your computer? Casing and spacing, structure should your website have, okay, etc. So what I'm going to start doing in the next video is I'm actually going to start setting up the website. All right, and I'll be back with that, hopefully at least, very shortly.